Hello everyone, it's Justin Cross here. So I got a question for you guys. First, you know what it's like being an adult and then seeing kids in danger. And especially when they're in danger of their own parents. There's this girl I knew, and drop dead gorgeous teenager. And it was interesting to see what her parents did. This girl would bring home an F from school, and her parents, they wouldn't care. She wouldn't get in trouble or anything. They'd actually take her out, and I've seen this happen. They took her out to Spencer's and Hot Topic. Parents, not just allowing their kids to go there, but taking their kids there, a teenager there. Like it's no big problem. And then buy her clothes. And these are clothes that you would see on a stripper. And I'm not joking. Like, these are things that strippers wear. You don't see kids wear this. You don't see them allowed in schools. But they would dress their daughter up in ridiculously sexy clothes. And parade her out in public like it was no big deal. But what was interesting is her father, who's not her real father, it turned out that there was a deal between the mom and the dad. And the mother, who had this daughter by blood, married this man because he's going to help make the house payments. And when this all came to light, I was pretty shocked, what was going on. And this girl, just the mental abuse and everything she went through was crazy. She was allowed she would use profanity around the house. Parents wouldn't do anything. She would say the F word, the C word. She'd watch things on the internet right in front of her parents. They wouldn't do a thing. It was like, it was no big deal. Like, it was normal. It was very odd. But what's weird is these parents would not give her guidance or give her any parental guidance whatsoever. They were actually very much anti-parents. They made sure that there were no rules set, no boundaries, that there was nothing to help guide her, that she'd do better in class or anything like that. They never wanted her to strive for anything. And whenever she wanted to do anything, they'd give her a bunch of excuses on why you can't do it and why you need to live in fear and why you're not going to be successful. That's all they would do. And then, when something would happen, as far as if this girl met a guy, they would get really jealous. And they grab her phone, they confiscate it. They go through her computer, and it was crazy. Then she'd have to go live at her dad's house for a while. Well, this girl was my girlfriend out of Bakersfield. And her name was Tammy. And I cared for her very much. Very, very much. And when her parents saw that she got off of drugs, they blamed me and said that she was changing who she was. And what they would look at is they would look at the fact that her daughter was changing, thinking for herself, period. You see, the fact that she changed at all was bad. To them, change was bad. It wasn't whether it was good change or bad change. Change was bad. They used to do drugs with this girl all the time, with their daughter. It turned out that the mom married the dad as a sex deal. And they married when she was 15. And that's why they would get really pissed off when this girl would get involved with another guy and get really jealous, is because the deal was to marry the guy and he could do whatever he wanted with the daughter. So when I found this out, I called cops and sheriffs and stuff like that. They didn't do anything. It got really, really bad. CPS out in Kern County, they couldn't care less about things like this. The problem with kids out there is just really, really bad. So, this girl, her parents, what they did is they just lied about me, and they tried to, they started to project everything wrong that they did to their daughter. They said that I did, and they just started changing the situation because they could not come to terms with the fact that they were awful people and that they just didn't deserve to live. They would not come to terms with it. And they did not care if their child's life, livelihood, or mentality or anything was at stake. They couldn't care. Well, that was quite a few years ago, and that was a long time ago. And I never thought I'd see anything like that again. But I did. I saw something very similar with some family out in Solon, Ohio. And I kept denying that this was happening. So my fiance and I, our car broke down and we got stuck at some family's house out there in Solon, Ohio. And they seemed really nice and everything. And I noticed some jealousy going on with stupid stuff. I'm from the place where if someone does better than me, I tell them, wow, you're good at that, good for you. But out here it was different. There's this guy who married this woman, and he started to get extremely jealous, and it was concerning. And what it was this woman had a daughter, and she was 15 years old, also a very pretty young lady, but the same things happened. This girl was failing in school, so they did not do anything. They took her to Spencer's and Hot Topic, and they bought her gifts and bought her clothes. Then we noticed that this girl was wearing clothes that were way too sexy. Turned out her dad, who's not her real dad, but the guy who's actually part of the family here, unfortunately, was dressing her up in super sexy clothes. And the mom's noticed, but she's too afraid to say anything. She just looks at her daughter like, oh my God, I can't believe she's going out like that. And just looks away, doesn't do anything. With her own husband, brags about dressing his daughter up like that. Now, I've got this confirmed that he has made passes at this young girl. And now that these things have come to light, there's a big blow-up between him and my fiance, and me. And when I tried to make peace with him, what this family did was we were put in such a place of danger for telling them not to abuse their daughter and not to do these things. When they found out that their daughter got a virus on their laptop, they confiscated all of her stuff. They went through her phone records, they went through her phone, and they started talking about how she's a screw-up because she once got a virus before a year ago on her laptop. So failing school is not a problem. All this stuff as far as dressing that way in public and everything, like a porno star or a stripper, they actually encourage that. They encourage, because they buy her those clothes. They want to parade her off like that. That's fine to them. But if you get a virus in your laptop, oh my God, how dare you? They start ripping into her. They tell her she can't do anything. This girl wants to be a voice actress for cartoons, and she's extremely good at it. One of the best I've ever heard and ever seen. They tell her she can't do it just because they can't do it. They don't want her to succeed. It's amazing to see them rip into this girl. So I'm looking at this, and all the signs are there that there's something going on that we don't know about. Well, we just got a text message from them describing everything that they've done, saying that they're mad at me and my fiance, that for us doing these things that we've never done, and that we're not part of the family anymore, and blah, 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 blah. So we're looking at this, and it's like, okay, I confronted this man dead on, and he would not answer my questions. He tried to intimidate me, and I stepped up to him, and he's looking at me. He doesn't know what to do. He talks about, I was a CB in the military, I've done this, I've done that, I'm a sharpshooter, blah, 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 blah. He keeps talking about how big he is. But when it's time to step up, this guy freezes up. It looks like he's going to cry. He doesn't know what to do. Then he starts yelling and screaming. And this is an adult. He's not answered any questions, and then he runs away. And now he's got his wife speaking for him, sending us mean emails, and saying that everything he did is what we've done. All the signs are there. And now I'm looking at this. We know that this young girl's in danger. And we know that they're doing unsavory things with her. The thing is there's not enough evidence there, and this girl's so terrified of them that she would never give them up. And they talk to her afterwards, and they're like, it's okay, sweetie, you could tell us, this isn't your fault, and blah, blah, blah. And they manipulate in that way, which we've all seen in every abusive relationship. So even though this man was alone, and his wife was against him and was on my side, and his daughters, both of them, were against him and on my side, and his mom was against him and on my side, he was able to control all of them through fear and change the story somehow. And even though he was wrong about, because he started saying that there's something going on, so I forgot about this. He said there's something going on between his daughter and I because I sent her text messages while she was at school saying, is that appropriate? It's like, well, if we can't ask you where the vacuum cleaner is or how to clean this stuff up, of course it's appropriate. Then he just flat out says, no, 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 that's not what happens. You're doing this with my daughter. That's my daughter. You can't do that stuff. There's something going on between you two. And he started acting jealous. And my fiance was terrified as well. Because when you have a daughter and something's going on, you want to stand up and protect her and do what's right for her. You don't say, why are you looking at that? That's mine. You can't have it. Mine, mine, mine. No one would do that. Especially a father. What is wrong with his head? So now that they're running away, we actually had to leave. We actually had to flee the property. Because they got so hostile that the last time we were there, I actually had my gun loaded, ready to go. Because they were so hostile, or because he was so hostile. The next morning, they did not allow their daughter to come home because they didn't want her to talk to us, so they could start planning their lies. And I looked at Levon and I spoke with my friends about it. They're like, you need to get out of the house. You're in physical danger. I was like, you're right. So when we left, we got a message not from him because he will not stand up for anything. We got a message from his wife saying it's a good thing you guys left. That's scary, huh? But what's funny is we got our revenge. We did the chores, we cleaned the dishes, we vacuumed, we did the laundry, all the things that they hate being done in their house. Because they hate having a clean house. So we clean everything up nice and neat, like livable, like someone lives there now. And we felt a lot better when we left. And it's funny because we know that the fact that their house was clean and livable, like human being livable, it drove them nuts. Isn't that funny? But we got it out of our system. The question is what do you do? In a situation like this, when you know something's going on, they're that hostile, and they're that abusive to their daughter mentally and most likely physically, what do you do? I honestly want to know. I want to hear your comments, because these people, you all know, well, you all don't know me. This guy actually thinks I'm a liar, and that's what I was talking about too. When someone thinks you're a liar, like this guy talks about he's a sharpshooter and this and that, we went to the range, I outshot him immediately. He got so jealous and so angry. He started talking about how much he knows about guns and everything. We went to the gun store, and they all told him he was wrong about everything, that I was right. And he got so jealous and angry. It was funny, this guy lies about little things to build himself up. And those are dangerous people. People who build themselves up, build themselves up, and you tell them about a small thing you've done in life, like you flew a plane or you went to the beach, and they say, you're full of lies, you didn't really do that. That's weird, because only a liar will do that, and then only an abusive person will get angry at you and claim that you're lying about it and get jealous of you for doing a simple everyday thing. This is a dangerous personality. And I'm more of a man of action. I don't talk. I like to make sure things get set right. With this, I haven't taken action yet. I've been waiting to see what they were going to do and see if they're going to admit what they were doing is wrong and that they were going to get help and that they were going to protect their daughter and get this man mental help and keep him away from her. But instead they went the other route. So, if you guys have context, you guys know what to do, or if you've gone through this, then please give me advice, because last time I saw something like this happen, it broke my heart so much I couldn't even handle doing anything. Anyway, that's all. You'll all be blessed. Oh, and what's funny, this woman says, why did you stay if it was so bad? It's like, why did we stay? We're still there? People.